Hey guys, what's going on? Zach here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the time that me and my family almost bought a haunted house. Now right off the bat, I know what you guys are probably thinking. Oh, this story's about to be as real as Kim Kardashian's tits. Listen, I know that the overwhelming majority of ghost stories on this website are either complete bullshit or extremely exaggerated, and I'm not here for that shit. That's why I'm going to be including some photo evidence in this video, so make sure you stick around for that. Anyways, let's get right into the story. This story starts off when I was about 14 or 15, I think, around 2017. Around this time, my family was constantly moving houses, and they were looking for a house in Toronto. My parents have always kind of wanted to live in Toronto, so they focused their search in the Toronto area. We searched like dozens of houses, but we really just couldn't find one that stood out to us. And then eventually one popped up on this real estate website. It was a super old house, kind of rustic, but it had charm at the same time. It was in a really good neighborhood, so we decided we wanted to check it out. So my parents booked an appointment for a showing, and we all went to go see it. This is where things start to get a little weird. As soon as we stepped in, something felt off. You know how in movies they say that when you step into kind of like a haunted environment or whatever, you feel like a chill? It was immediate, and it was really fucking weird. I didn't really think anything of it because I was like 14 and I don't know, I thought fucking maybe the air conditioning was just busted or something. But as we went to go explore more parts of the house, the feeling kind of got worse. It was kind of like a feeling as if something was watching us, if that made any sense. And it got really bad in certain parts of the house. I remember the feeling worsened in the back of the house. There was like a greenhouse, in the basement, and in one room upstairs. Once again, I brought this up to my parents, but it was kind of just brushed off as a kid. I don't know, being fucking stupid. The house was old. They probably thought I was just nervous and scared, which I mean is understandable, but at the same time, that's how like every fucking horror movie starts ever. So we make our way down to the basement, and I remember there was a bunch of, I want to say mold, but I'm really not sure what it was. And it was only in one spot of the basement in like a corner, forming a huge circle. And this, for some reason, scared the shit out of me. I remember thinking that the house was dying, which looking back, that doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. But that was my mentality at the time. By the time we made it upstairs, I was already fucking shitting myself. And I don't know about you guys, but my family moves a lot, so every time we went to go see a house, we would do this thing where we would pick out rooms in houses we went to see before we went to even buy them, if that makes sense. So obviously the master went to my parents, my sister saw a room that she liked, and I was left with the one remaining room that would have been mine. This room felt really bad. Anyways, after the showing, we hop back into my parents' car, we drive home, and we're talking about it on the way back. My sister talks about how she felt really uneasy in the house too, which immediately I thought was really weird because I thought it was just me. But my parents once again just brushed it off and said that it's probably just kids freaking out. They decided that they wanted to put an offer in on it, and so we decided to look into the house a little bit more. If you guys have ever been to an open house, a lot of times they hand out like booklets with a big picture of the house on the front. We took one of those, and on the way home, me and my sister were looking at it, and she pointed something out. This is where I'm going to put up the picture. Now, the quality of the image is a little bit worse because I did have to scan it from the pamphlet, but I think you guys can still get the idea here. As you can see, it just looks like a typical old house. If you look closely in one of the windows, there's a silhouette of a woman that looks like she's from some sort of like Victorian era or something. And it's really unsettling. So first she shows me, and I'm freaking the fuck out because I don't fuck with that shit. Like, listen, I love horror movies. I don't want to fucking be in one. We showed it to my parents, and to this day I still cringe thinking about what they said. My dad said, "It's probably just a stained glass window." All the other windows are completely normal, completely see-through, but for some reason, they thought that one just happened to be a stained glass window. After me and my sister pointed out that that was the fucking dumbest thing we've ever heard, my dad said, "You know what? Maybe it was the owner of the house standing in the window, or maybe some of the furniture made it look like there was a silhouette of a woman." Not only is that the dumbest shit I've ever heard, but what they decided to do afterwards still blows my fucking mind. They put an offer on the fucking house. Maybe it's Casper. Maybe it's a friendly ghost. Looking back now, the girl in the window kinda looks like the sexy lady from Resident Evil. Maybe it wouldn't have been so bad. After my parents put an offer in on the house, they made us go see it. Again, I remember buckling my fucking seatbelt and refusing to leave the car. And then my dad promptly unbuckled the seatbelt and said, "Come on, I'll get you McDonald's." And I marched into that fucking house like nothing was wrong. Honestly, for a 10-piece chicken nugget, I would do it again. No shame. The second time in the house was even fucking worse because not only did I have that constant feeling of being watched that I had the first time, But now I definitely knew something was fucking wrong. The basement felt worse, the greenhouse felt worse, but the worst place, no doubt, is that fucking room. The room that would have been my bedroom, where the silhouette of the woman was visible. We went into that room, and all that was in there was a single bed and a white dresser. And that's it. And you might be thinking, well, maybe it was the owner of the house doing some old bride cosplay for some fucking reason. The woman who was selling the house was about 70 years old, and she was the only one on the property. Thankfully, someone just barely outbid us, and we lost any chance at ownership over the house. I had never been so relieved in my entire life. I remember a few years after this happened, I decided to look up the address of the house. I don't know, I was curious, and I couldn't find anything, except for the fact that the people who bought the house from us sold it less than a year after owning it. I'm not sure if the woman in the window had something to do with it, or maybe they just wanted to flip the house and resell it. I guess I'll never really know. But yeah, guys, to this day, that's a story that still freaks me the fuck out every time I think about it, and I thought it would be a good video to share with you guys. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Tell me in the comments if you guys have any scary ghost stories, or if you want to hear more stories like this. I'll see you guys in the next video.